Oh my God, first run. This feels so good to be back, but I'm still very aware that I've got a long way to go. Well, this is looking like it's going to be my slowest ever half marathon, but I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it has been a crazy year. I mean, to think of the changes. I mean, this time last year, I wasn't a mum. I've become a mum, had to navigate that, a new experience. And then also the concept of getting back into exercise and then almost changing my mindset from exercise into training. And yeah, I don't know where the last 12 months have gone, but tomorrow, it is Magnus's birthday. He is going to be 1. I'm going to have a 1-year-old. That is just absolutely crazy. Anyway, to celebrate, I will be eating cake, but I'm also going to be running Bath Half. I'm sure Magnus will be really proud and have a great birthday party cheering me from the sidelines. But yeah, it's just something that I wanted to do for myself and to celebrate this year. That said, I did have some big goals. I'm not where I want to be, but yeah, I'm still happy that I'm going to be out there running.
Oh, I'm so lucky to have this race right on my doorstep. So I'm having a casual walk to the start. I've got the lift part of the way, left the chaos at home of a 1-year-old's birthday. And this is like a bit of me time. So yeah, I love this race. Whenever I'm in Bath, I've done it since I basically retired. I first did it in 2013 at the end of my professional career. And yeah, I've lost count of how many times I've run it. This one will be different. But it's always a joy to just get to run in your home city and see lots of your friends. Yeah, hopefully have a good time.
So I last ran this race in October 2022 and I massively surprised myself with a PB, which was cool. And I was super motivated. However, the following summer, I got pregnant and goals changed. I had still hoped to run it that autumn, whilst pregnant, but I was away. And that then meant that I was looking potentially the next race. It moved back to the spring. And the race was scheduled for March. I was due with my baby for mid-April, so I thought, I'm going to get serious FOMO, and realistically, I'm probably going to be too pregnant to even waddle around. So I thought, I'll volunteer and do something a little bit different just to reduce getting FOMO and just feeling like I'm part of it, because it is such a big part of the city if you live in Bath. Things kind of changed, obviously, because Magnus came all of a sudden and very early the night before Bath Half. So I had to quickly ring them and say, I'm really sorry, I can't come and help. Didn't even get out to race, to watch on race day because I was stuck in hospital. But already a little seed had been sown that I was like, I have an idea, because basically in 12 months' time, it will be Bath Half. And this was kind of one I kept quite quiet to myself, but I was getting a little bit excited that could I do something special? Could I aim for a PB in a year's time? And then I realised that the actual date of Bath Half in 2025 was going to be Magnus's first birthday, and I was like, that is an absolutely brilliant goal. And I hear about women who come back and run so well because they've got this extra blood volume and everything, and I just thought, well, I want to do it to prove to myself, but also just to prove to other women that it's possible.
I'm here, I've made it at the start line, 1 year on. The goals, target times completely changed. Yeah, I still feel nervous, I've got that dry mouth, but I think it's just general anticipation. So yeah, I'm here, and that's the main thing. Here we go.
Go on, Emma!
And my support crew out already. That's very cool. It's so easy to forget where I was this time last year. This morning, I was filming a whip video, waddling around, no idea it's about to have a baby in the evening. Yeah, quite crazy. And then I get annoyed and I'm like, I've had a whole year. Wish I was fitter. But I just try and remember that first time I ran properly, like a full run, no run walk. And that was 6 months ago, last September. And I was so excited. And I'm going to try and bottle that feeling and just remember how great it is to be able to run and how lucky I am. Although, having said that, there's still always this naughty part of my brain that just thinks, oh, you did it. You used to be able to run fast or faster. You used to be an athlete. And then I always go, oh, well, maybe it's in there. But I had to start kidding myself at some point and just refocus or realign those goals and just be so grateful. I mean, all these people running this morning, we're just so lucky. And yeah, this is about being a celebration. And I'm trying not to look at my watch, I promise.
Well, as part of this video, I've been looking back at photos and reflecting, and I've really enjoyed it. And it's also made me realise that this time last year, well, maybe a little bit further on, how much I really enjoyed walking and how useful it was for me as part of my rehab. So it was great in getting strength and lots of hills, started walking downhill a little bit faster so I could start to replicate that jarring you get through your legs without getting close to running it. And I also tapped back into my days as a triathlete, and I think I spent, by the summer, I did more cycling than I've done since I've joined GTN in a consolidated period. So that was cool. Did a little bit of swimming as well. Getting back into open water just felt so freeing. And I purposely avoided looking at the scales because I was trying to focus on strength and just letting my body have its time to so much alterations. I was really lucky that I managed to breastfeed as well, which was kind of helping with that. But also I was conscious that that has an effect on your ligaments. And that is also something to bear in mind when returning to running. So, it makes you more mobile. I'm naturally quite mobile as well. So that was just at the back of my mind that, yes, it's helping, but just try and be patient the whole time. Whilst ultimately everything I was doing was with that end goal of being able to run pain-free. That was kind of the dream, and maybe even fast again, but that was further at the back of my mind. And just as a new mum, having so little sleep, it felt like this dream of just imagine I might be able to go running again. And that was just that seed that was just still there.
Problem with running a local course, every hill, and this one is one of the hills on my way home, and I always run it tired, and right now I'm feeling it already. When I was looking ahead at this year, I had real intentions of, by now, just smashing it. Glass half was the target. It's like 1 year, and I was patient, it was going well, and I entered lots of races in the autumn, just local ones to ease myself in, and just because I love racing. And it was like a big ask, but another K then. But it was still like motivating, and I looked like it was really quite doable. And then 6 months ago, it all went rather drastically wrong.
It sounds silly saying it now, but that was so much more painful than having a C-section. And it just completely took the wind out of my sails. I felt like I just started to get going. Like I'd had 2 weeks of having free rein to just run as I liked, just go and do a session if I wanted. And that felt so good. And in just seconds, it was taken away from me by myself. It's my fault, I know, but I was, really devastated. But it wasn't just the physical pain of it and then losing, obviously, my goals. I'd entered lots of races that were, coming up that I was really hoping I could beat or better my time than I did than the year before, because obviously I was pregnant. So I was so motivated by this. And then instead, I had this excruciating pain. And what was worse, I was basically a zombie for about 3 weeks. I was either in so much pain that I couldn't really function, or the painkillers were doing their job and then I couldn't function because I was a little bit high. And I didn't cuddle my baby for 3 weeks because it was my right hand. But even using my left, any movement hurt. I was fortunate I managed to push and get a operation, so I had it plated, and then I had a time scale. And I think you guys would relate to this, just knowing the time frame of when you might be able to be back helped. And 5 weeks after breaking it, I was allowed to go for a run. However, I was really shocked at how bad my fitness was. And I think I realized that when I was pregnant and when I was coming back from pregnancy, I'd walked and done lots of walking, whereas this time I'd done nothing because it hurt so much. I'd done a tiny bit on the turbo, but my running fitness had just gone. And I was felt like I was back to not just zero, but below zero. And the fact that I'd already done that once and built up and had been so excited, I just that motivation was just not there. And going into winter, and I had to watch my friends doing, I was supposed to be doing high rocks with my friends, I had to watch her do that, and which is cool to see other people racing, but I find it really tough to just reset my mind once again. However, even though I was really unfit, there was a local race which I had entered for the half distance, and I just thought, well, I can transfer my entry and just do the short one. Why not? Like, what have I got to lose? And I went out like an idiot. I went out so fast and absolutely died. But it felt so good to just have that burn, that physical pain in your lungs again. And it just started to, change my mindset slightly.
So I've had a constant debate with myself ahead of today, the last few weeks, going, I want to race it, maybe just finish a month. Let's do a good time, make Magnus proud of myself. And my difficulty is at heart. I love to race. I love the high you get after. I like pushing myself. And yeah, if you run, you'll get that. But I've also been trying to kind of get my head around, let's not be disappointed. It's different. It's different today. And I'm still struggling with that in my head, and I know I've gone out too hard. But yeah, today is about Magnus. I'm lucky to be able to run here on. So many women can't for various reasons, and that's really special. So yeah, my head is a mess at the moment between that, going, starts to hurt, just back off and supposed to have fun. And I'm like, no, come on, what's a bit of running pain? But yeah, that's where my head's at right now.
Well, that was quite a reality check, but also quite good motivation because it made me realise just how much work I have to do before my next race. I still did another local cross-country race in between, and it was slightly weird. So I'm having to reframe in my mind that I'm almost watching the race up ahead and I'm just doing it. And part of me is like, is this torturing myself because I know I'm not fit? But also going, well, I'm lucky that I can actually run and it's okay to not be fit, and was just trying to sort of, use it as part of my fitness journey. But basically, when I came back from my collarbone, my first run back was exactly 12 weeks until my next challenge, which was the Arc of Attrition. And if you follow our channel, you'll know how that went. It was, I guess, as good as I could have expected. I maybe hoped for slightly more, but 12 weeks of running consistently basically was all I had. And then after that, I was like, right, 1 week of holiday, cool, and then I'll come back and I've got 6 weeks to train until Bath Half to sort of try to inject a little bit of speed. I had a virus. That took me out for another 2 weeks of zero training, and that then led me to 1 month to go.
Now, considering I know the prep has not gone to plan, irrelevant of the collarbone break for the last couple of months, didn't happen. So with that in mind, and the fact I'm filming it, I'm hoping because I can control my pace. I'm not focusing on the watch, but I really struggled this last week with the taper because I just knew I hadn't done enough training, but I didn't want to rest because I've got nothing to rest from, and I stupidly went and did 3 lots of TK. Basically hard. Yeah, don't do that on Monday. Give me a bit of confidence I can run fast, but also scared me because I could only do it for 6K. But anyway, I'm here, and I think I already know I've stepped out too fast. I couldn't hit my target half pace, and that's when the target had to change. So, yeah, I know today that I think whatever time I targeted, I'd be disappointed, so can try not to target, because it's not always about the time. And I'm running this and just seeing all the crowd and being here out in the sunshine, it's helping me to realise that. And seeing all the other runners that have worked so hard for this, it's cool to be part of that as a privilege. I ran too hard and now I'm trying to enjoy it. I've just got 2K to go. I just wanted to be able to say it might be the end of my chatting, and let's just get this done. Whew.
Well, to give it context, my slowest Bath half was back in 2020. I ran a 1:32, and I can still distinctly remember just feeling so flat and just annoyed, upset at myself. Like, I wanted to beat myself up that I was just that unfit. And I thought, God, how embarrassing if people know my time. I will say that I have grown a lot since then, and I realised that nobody else cares. We're all just in our own heads, and yeah, it's how we feel that's important, and it's how I feel that's important, and I can control that, and I'm aware of that. So I'm going into this with hopefully more of a neutral mindset. That said, I do have sort of a loose target time. I would love to be under 1:35. That's sort of a rough target. It slightly excites me. It makes me feel a bit nervous. So I think that that's a good sign. You know, I can't get away from that. But it isn't about the time. It's just a little thing just there. But yeah, I just need to remember, well, I do know just how lucky I am that I get to go and do this. So yeah, I did it. And that last sort of finishing straight, having just seen my friends coming up the hill, not expecting to see them, and Magnus, it was all, yeah, quite, like, I think just the last year sort of flashing through my mind in that time of just how much I've done. And I did get there, because at some points I really didn't think I'd be able to run the half. And like I said, it wasn't quite what I expected, but it was better than that, because it was just a celebration. And yeah, I think it was just like massive emotions of being so grateful to being able to run and, you know, to be part of the half marathon, but also that just grateful for everyone that's helped me to be able to do that. And you know, it's obviously I've done some runs with the buggy and this monkey to added resistance, but a lot around that as well. So it's just, yeah, 1 year of celebrating and being thankful for being where I am. And yeah, here's to the next event and beyond.